golden axe and a silver axe. Once upon a time, there lived a young man with a kind heart. He was a woodcutter, and he lived with his widowed mother. Every day, he went into the mountains to gather timbers. He made a living by selling them to the people in his village. He was well liked by everybody because of his nature. He had a hard life, but he never forgot to smile. Early one morning, he put his usual things together to go to the woods. While he was getting himself ready, he got saddened about his mother. She would be home all day by herself while he's gone. "Mother, I'm leaving. I had your lunch ready. Please be sure to have your meal. It's in the kitchen. It's chilly outside today, so stay warm. You may catch a cold walking around." "Of course, my son. Rest your worries and just take care of yourself. I am so sorry that I can't even serve you breakfast anymore." The woodcutter said to himself as he was leaving, "I should finish up early today and stop by the market. I know she loves those pumpkin candies. I need much more timbers to sell. I want to make her some meat soup tomorrow." He went deeper into the forest, looking for thicker and heavier wood. "Here! Look at all those healthy trees. I shall have lots of wood, much more than yesterday." Under a big tree, he opened his bag and took out his lunchbox and axe. "Let's see, which one shall I start with?" He looked around to have his pick. There was a big pond, and trees there grew bigger and larger. "Oh, I like that one. He looks good." He started to take an axe at the tree. Wham! Wham! The tree stood tall and wouldn't give an inch to his old axe. The labor formed beads of sweat on his forehead. Wham! Wham! Sweat made his hands slippery, and he needed a tighter grip around his axe. The big tree was much stronger than it looked. It made both the woodcutter and his old axe helpless. Wham! With his last swing, the axe left his grip and flew out. Splash! It took a big dive right into the middle of the pond. The woodcutter couldn't believe his ears. He stood there in silence. He didn't have the heart to even look at where his axe fell into. "How am I going to get anything from my mother now?" Tears rolled down onto his face, soaked into sweat. "How will I be a woodcutter without an axe? What am I going to work with?" He plopped down on the ground and started to sob in despair. At the moment, he heard a rustling sound. Startled, he quickly turned to where the sound came from. There stood an old man with his long white beard. "Young man, what's all that sadness?" Woodcutter told the old man what happened. Poof! The old man was gone. And there was a wise spirit of the mountains. In his hand, he held a big, bright, yellow axe. The axe of gold. "Is this the lost axe of yours?" "Wise spirit, it isn't. My axe is so old that it has lost all its brightness." Another poof! Stood the wise spirit holding the axe of silver. "Then this silver axe must be yours." "Wise spirit, it isn't mine at all." On the face of the wise spirit spread the hint of smile and content. Once again, poof! Now the wise spirit, in his hand, held Woodcutter's old axe. "Tell me, this old common axe belongs to you." "My wise spirit, this is my old axe. As old as my axe is, I make a living off of it. Its kindness buys me food to serve my aged mother. How beautiful is your heart! Neither the axe of gold nor the axe of silver blinded your eyes with greed, as it is easy to say yes to what you want. What is yours has paid for what you have. You seem to understand that. These two special axes are my gift to you and your modesty. I must say thank you, wise spirit, but my old axe is all I need. Again, but last, poof! In the sound, the wise spirit of the mountains is gone. He left all three axes the wise spirit had brought to the woodcutter. Thank you. Thank you very much. Woodcutter sold the axes of gold and silver and became rich. But this good-hearted woodcutter experience had been retold in neighboring villages. One of the villages lived a heart filled with greed and jealousy, who was also a woodcutter. Unlike our woodcutter, this man never stopped to complain. Silly, what means a hard work? So I can have more wood that have to be sold? Why, my mother wouldn't find even maid's work, so I can alone do all the work of a woodcutter. One day, he also heard about the story of another woodcutter, how he became rich with the gifts of two precious axes from the wise spirit. Then he came up with an idea. Aha! I can do the same. I shall find the pond and lose my axe to cry over it. Then, this spirit is supposed to appear and present me with axes of gold and silver. So do I bear my widow mother every day. I work as hard as wood to make a living. Full of greed, this woodcutter, too, headed into the forest with the pond. At the pond, this greedy woodcutter took out his old axe and threw it into the pond with a splash. Seated by the pond, he shed tears sadly. True, the story was, poof, was heard, and appeared the wise spirit of the mountains. The wise spirit held in his hand an axe of gold. Oh, as they said, it is true as real. The greedy woodcutter saw the axe, and nothing mattered to him anymore. Wise spirit asked, "This axe belongs to you?" The greedy woodcutter rushed his answer, "Yes, that is exactly mine." Wise spirit from his behind took out another axe of silver. He showed it to the man and asked him, "I believe this must be yours too." Wise spirit, you are of course, yes, that's mine too. So I had to cry sadly. Wise spirit, this time, showed him his old axe and asked another question. "What about this one? Is this one that you lost?" "Sure, that is the one I lost, so it is my axe." The greedy woodcutter answered happily. He knew the spirit must give him both axes of gold and silver. At the moment, a sudden and loud roar soared through the mountains. "How dare you! Let your greed blind your eyes and let your lips speak a lie." The greedy woodcutter knew then his answers were wrong to get the axes. Forgive me, wise spirit. I am a very poor man. Please return my axe to me at least." Wise spirit became more angry. "Yet your heart learns no shame. How dare you come here to cut my trees down to feed your greedy soul?" Wise spirit left the greedy woodcutter there, not leaving any axes, even his own. The greedy woodcutter fell onto the ground and cried sorry tears. But it came too late. The end.